Hello friends, so I am kind of unexpectedly here to start a new series reading blog. I lost my words there for a second. So like I said, it was unexpected. I didn't plan to start reading this series, but I had the audiobook available and it was a little bit shorter than some of the other audiobooks that I had. So I decided to pick it up. So I started book 1 in Katee Robert's O'Malley series, The Marriage Contract, and I finished it, listening to it at work today. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was perfectly fine, and then I was like, I'm gonna go start getting ready for bed, and then my head started hurting, and I was like, but wait, I need to open this vlog. So I started Katee Robert's O'Malley series. This is a mafia romance, I guess you would call it. They are in Boston. This is Callie and T. They are from, I was gonna say they're from different families, obviously, rival families. And in the beginning, Callie is basically going into this arranged marriage, and she goes to kind of see what her future husband is about. It's a different guy. It's not the love interest. And basically she sees him being super brutal to a sex worker. And it did never really say it, but she kind of mentioned that she thought maybe he was killing her. So he sees her there and attacks her, not knowing who she is because they've never actually met face to face. But she shoots him and kills him and then runs away. And basically, instead of forgetting about the arranged marriage, her dad just switches over to Teague's family. And Teague is not the oldest son, but I think they mentioned that the oldest son already kind of has a person that he's with or something. So I just thought about that. Is he gonna have a book later? No spoilers. We're not gonna look up spoilers. So Callie and T kind of start to spend time together, which is what she wanted with the first arranged fiance that she had. She just wanted to meet him and see what he was about and kind of get a feel for the situation. But Callie and Teague actually get a chance to do that, and they're very attracted to each other. And then basically the whole conflict is this other third family is threatening because they feel like they were ripped off in the situation because they were supposed to have a marriage and an alliance, and then they didn't get it. And yeah, so I gave this 4 stars. I did really like it. It was a bit insta-lovey, but was it was insta-lusty, and then that super quickly turned into insta-love. I felt like it was super fast for everything to be happening, but I also kind of understand why it all had to be super fast given the situation with that third family. So I ended up at 4 stars. The next book, I have looked this one up, is Kerrigan, Tegan's sister. Yeah, she's gonna be... So she was kidnapped in book 1 by that third family, and I think her love interest is in that family, but I'm interested to see how this one is gonna happen, how this one's gonna work out. Because given the situation where everything was left, yeah. So this will probably be, so this is what I'm going to pick up tomorrow at work. I think it's also like an 8-hour audiobook, so like it's super fast. I may even have time to start book 3 tomorrow, maybe. But we will see. Hi guys. So it's almost 1:30. I'm getting ready to head back in from my lunch break. But I finished book 2. What was it called? The Marriage Pact, I think is what it was called. I should have double checked that before I started filming. Anyway, I finished it. I loved it. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. It was a forbidden romance. They were from rival families. She is from the O'Malleys, which is like obviously the like main characters of excuse me, of the series, and he is from the family that in book 1 the girl was engaged to at the beginning and she killed him. He is the younger brother to that guy, so he has like I think the brother, obviously the brother died. I think the father was in prison, so he's like head of the family now, and he doesn't really want to be. He never wanted that life, but it's you know, like he's got to do it now. So they met in book 1 and they hooked up, and then he realized who she was and he kidnapped her, which is not great, but he let her go. Like, well, I mean, she was already escaping and he just like didn't stop her. So we're like, he kind of let her go. But in this one, they find each other again. I think he sought her out, like going to a club he knew she would be at or something. And they started a forbidden relationship. And so, forgot where I was going. So they started a forbidden relationship, and then, like, because this is how it works, everybody finds out. But her family is telling her, or her dad has told her that she's almost 30. She needs to pick a husband and like set an alliance for them or whatever. So they get found out. And it kind of what's the word? Kind of like fast forwards everything through, so that she picks this Russian mobster from New York, and this part is probably spoilery, but I can't tell you other things I liked about it without this part. So, spoiler alert. The Russian, like, knows about their affair, her affair with the love interest. So he, like, puts a bounty on his head and says he's going to kill him and everything. And so she overhears him making plans for her love interest to be killed. So she runs away and saves him. And I liked that she saved him. That was where I was going with all this. I like that she saved him. I love that Katee Robert does that. Yeah, so this one was just 5 stars. I loved the forbiddenness of it. I loved their, like, adversary banteriness at the beginning before they started hooking up. Yes, I loved everything about this. So, I have book 3 available. Probably gonna start listening to that when I get back. So, I'm not sure, but I think this is one of the brothers who would go, and this one he went to a bar a couple of times and was like really entranced by a bartender. So I think that they're next. They should be next anyway. But I super, super loved, I really want to call it The Wedding Pact, but I don't know if that's for sure what the name is. But I loved it. Hey guys, so it is Thursday morning now. I have a terrible night's sleep, so I am up earlier than I need to be. But last night, before I tried to go to bed, I finished An Indecent Proposal, book 3. I get a lot of reading done, or I didn't get a chance to listen to a lot of it at work. So the thing about these reading vlogs is that my ratings, I feel like, are maybe skewed a little bit. Because, like, I want to give this one 5 stars too, but I didn't like this one as much as I liked The Wedding Pact. So is it still a 5-star? I think it is. This one is Cillian and Olivia. Olivia is a single mom. She is actually the half-sister to the New York Russian mobster who was the arranged husband in the last book that tried to attacked me. That tried to kill the love interest in that one. She's actually his half-sister. Her baby daddy is his, like, head general or whatever. And the general made the decision to not stay with her, to kidnap her, to make her stay with the family. And so she left the first chance she got. Now she's in Boston, which I don't know why you would move somewhere that was so, like, mob heavy, because apparently there's these 3 families and everybody knows these 3 families. I don't know why if you were trying to escape that life, would you move somewhere that is so heavily, like, the same? But whatever. I'm trying to block the light and I feel like I'm doing a terrible job of it. That's a little bit better. Anyway, so she moves to Boston with her daughter, and she's working at a bar, which is where she met Cillian. I mentioned the bartender. That was her. They hook up the first time, and then she wants to continue just to hook up, and he tells her that he wants a date. So after a lot of after a lot of convincing, she agrees to go on a date with him. On their date, her baby daddy, who is there supposed to be just watching her for her brother, or for her half-brother, just, like, tells the half-brother that she's dating an O'Malley. So the half-brother comes and he, like, threatens her and threatens her daughter. So she calls Cillian and they run away to the O'Malley, like, country house, and it sets the baby daddy off. He comes in and kidnaps, spoiler alert, he comes in and kidnaps the baby. So in this one, it wasn't really the woman saving the man, but I liked in this one that they really worked together to save her daughter. Super happy with the resolution. They make a deal with the Russian mobster, half-brother, whatever you want to call him. They make a deal with him. I'm not super happy with that. I felt like that's... I mean, I know there's still 3 books in the series, but that left it very open-ended. And I don't know how I feel about that. But as far as the romance goes, I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. This one is the hottest book so far in the series. There's an alleyway scene that doesn't sound like it should be hot, but it was. So yeah, I need to go get dressed. I'm still in my PJs and everything, but I'm so tired. I do not sleep very well at all. I need to get some caffeine, and then I'm gonna head to work. What's the next one? The next one I have to read is called Forbidden Promises, which is probably going to be the sister that in this one ran away from the life. She ran from Boston to LA, so we'll see how that goes. Hey guys, so it is Thursday afternoon now. I just got off work. Today I listened to Forbidden Promises, book 4 in the O'Malleys. I'm hoping this is the low point for the series, because I'm going to give this one 3 stars.
Both main characters were annoying. The, like, way that they went about meeting and their whole, like, story, I was just like, I think I made this face a whole bunch today, because at one point, even, like, the girl that I work across from was like, are you alright? I was like, I'm listening to a book, and I'm not feeling it. This one is Sloane, I think her name was. Terrible with names. And she's not the youngest sister. I think the other sister is younger. I don't know which order the two sisters, or these last two sisters go in. So she, with the help of the brother from book 1, has gotten out of the family. She's left Boston. She's gone to, I think it was Oregon. But she's mad at the sister from book 2, the oldest sister, who fell in love with the enemy and, like, disrespected the family. I'm like, but you did the same thing when you left. So I don't understand why she had so much resentment for the older sister. But that, like, anyway, she goes to Oregon. She leaves, runs away, basically in hiding. Her neighbor tells everybody in this small, I think it was a small town, or, like, small community or whatever, then her neighbors told everybody he's a writer. But she's like, he doesn't look like a writer, because he's not. Spoiler alert. He is, I don't know what you would actually call him, like an assassin, I guess. He's hired to, like, or hitman, he's hired to, like, take out hits on people. So they start hooking up. That whole situation, the sexual relationship escalated very quickly. Because she mentioned it at the beginning that she was a virgin, or he asked her and she said that she was a virgin. And then it just, like, spiraled out of control. Condoms were breaking. It was a whole situation. And then they spent so much time talking about that this condom broke and that what if she's pregnant, and, like, even at one point she's like, I haven't had my period yet and so I'm worried. But then, like, 2 paragraphs later it was, well, I'm still a week away from starting my period. And I was just so annoyed by this whole situation. I was like, if she's not pregnant, I'm gonna be pissed off at this point. I was pissed off anyway, but the ending was really, it was dragged out, but it was rushed. I don't know how to explain it. Turns out she is pregnant. The brother who helped her escape realizes who the love interest is, because he's got this whole situation also dealing with the Boston, like, mob world. I didn't fully understand that. I don't know why that seemed to have been brought up pretty suddenly. But that brother goes to rescue her, and then she doesn't want to be rescued because she's in love with him. I'm like, you've known him, like, 4 days, 3 days, you're pregnant with his baby, and yeah. I didn't really understand the timeline of everything. There was just a lot that I didn't get about this book. But like I said, the ending, it was really dragged out. Them going back to Boston, them dealing with all of the players of her family and what he was, like, trying to do in the first place, why he was in the small town, and then it was really rushed in the fact that her brother was just like, you two can leave. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me, considering everything up until this point, you've been like, you're not going anywhere, everybody staying in the family. The older sister fell in love with the rival, and she's been excommunicated from the family, but this other one can leave, and I don't know, I didn't like this one. There was also setup for the last two siblings. I don't know whose book is next, though. It's either Aiden, the oldest brother, who's excuse me, the oldest brother who's taken over the family, or he will take over the family when the dad goes. If it's him, it's gonna be him and this former cop. The way I kind of understood it was the cop was taken down for being like a dirty cop, but she wasn't. She was the only one that wasn't dirty, and so they like ganged up on her because she wouldn't take the payouts from, I'm pretty sure it's the New York Russian mob boss who was in the previous book. But I also think that New York Russian mob boss is going to be the love interest for the last sister. Kira, I think is her name. So I don't know how that's going to work, because I feel like that's like, he's the bad guy. He's been the bad guy for a few books now. And so I just don't know how all of that is going to turn out. But yeah, I don't know.
Hey guys, so it is Friday night now. I've finished Undercover Attraction today at work. And then I started listening to podcast episodes. But I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. This one is Aiden, who is the oldest brother who's taken over for the dad, as the leader of the family, and Charlie, who is an ex-cop who was kicked off the force for being dirty, but she was the only one that wasn't dirty, that wasn't taking the payouts. So I gave this one 4 stars because I really liked that dynamic, the whole it's not really black and white issue thing. I loved Charlie. I loved her. She was a super strong female character. My issue in this one was Aiden, because this is book 5, and in all the other books he's been the big bad brother who was taking over the family and has turned out just like the dad, and there's been all this crap talked about him. And in this one, we were getting his point of view on all of these situations. But I was kind of just like, if you would open your mouth and communicate this to your siblings, who are, at the beginning, they were trying to help him, with that burden of taking over the family, and then eventually they just kind of stopped because he made some really crappy decisions. And so in this one, it was just really hard for me to wrap my head around the character that he was to them versus the character he was now. And now I like him. So I gave this one 4 stars. I finished that at work today, like I said, and I started listening to podcasts. I have not picked up the next book since I've been home. I need a minute. We're gonna get there. Hey guys, so it is Monday night now. I'm terrible at reading on the weekends. I'm averaging about an audiobook a day at work, and then it's I read pretty much nothing on the weekends. So I don't know what's going on with my reading right now. But I did finish The Bastard's Bargain, and I did finish the O'Malley series. I'm gonna give this one 4 stars, I think. So this one is, sorry, I got a haircut today, and I'm still playing with it phase. So this one is Kira O'Malley, and she, at the end of the last one, she decided that she was going to run away with the Russian New York mobster, that's kind of been the bad guy throughout the whole thing. She was gonna run away with him and agree to marry him so that he would not start a war with her brother and her family and all that. So, the beginning of this one, she's like getting into the car and they are going to a courthouse to get married. I liked that one of the first things that he did was notice that she had a drinking and drug problem. And he like made her get sober, really. He kind of pointed out things that she had to live for, even if she was in this forced marriage that she didn't really want. Because that was one of the things that was bugging me in the last like 2 books. She's had this addiction problem, and her family's just kind of been like, oh well, she's spiraling, but we have our own stuff to deal with. And I'm like, that's not you. Like, I wish she was better, but you're not doing anything to help her. You're literally doing nothing, so that's not gonna work. So one of the reasons I'm giving it 4 stars and not 5, I did really, really like it, but there was I don't know the word for it, like, she didn't want to be with him. This was something she chose to do to save her family, which, okay, I get that, I can respect that, but it went real suddenly to maybe I'm falling for him, and I was just like, I don't know that I necessarily believe that, but that is why I'm going to give it 4 stars. Okay, so that's the marriage contract. I gave 4 stars. The wedding pact, I gave 5 stars. An indecent proposal, I gave 5 stars. Forbidden promises, I gave 3 stars. Undercover attraction, I gave 4 stars. And the bastard's bargain, I gave 4 stars. So now I'm done with the O'Malley series, and I'm waiting for Katee Robert to bring out the second generation. I think that's the book that she's working on currently. So, and I think it's Kira and Dimitri, the couple I just read about in the last book. I think it's their daughter first. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bye.